think we're ready to get started. So yesterday I went ahead and did some more work on this guy. I've got, this is really like all the body I'm going to build for him. Yeah, and I've added creasing to kind of hold the shape of the hand some too. So that should hopefully keep a good look for the hands and whatnot. Yeah, and then some of this, like this through here, this needs to be fixed a little bit. It's a little bit too strong coming off of the corner of the eye here, so let's get that in there. But yeah, essentially what I want to do is finish out the topology behind the ear. Add some creasing to the ear, so that way it holds its shape. And really, I mean, it's coming along nicely. Creasing, 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 creasing. Add that in there, add that in there. Yeah, so. Oh, what fun it is to crease on an open model here, yeah. Sorry, that's like terrible. I don't sing, so, you know. Watch my stream at your own peril. I need to go ahead and get connected to the Discord, too. I haven't done that yet. Over so I can see it. No Spare Time live. Alright, so yeah, if anybody's here, like part of my here, let's move the microphone closer to my face. That might be a little bit better. I'm on one today. I must be doing real well. Yeah, so I'm on the Discord server. If anybody's part of the Patreon crowd and wants to be able to join in and chat, that's totally open and available. And I guess I'll leave the desktop audio off for now. But yeah, remind me if we get somebody on there to make sure that we get the sound working nicely, so that we have, you know, patron voices coming through. All right. Okay. Let's see, let's do this. Say bridge these edges. Boom. And then right here I want to have this go across. So what I'm going to do, let's say insert. Let's get one to represent this top edge, the one beneath it, the one beneath that, one, and then one more. We'll smooth this out here in a minute. But having them in there will help us so that we can just go through and just start bridging them together. Makes it nice. Oops. Don't delete my face. Okay, let me see. I am going to say, let's bridge these two together. Then I'm going to start adding in, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, say about right there or something. Just add that in, and then what I'll do is we'll pull it out. Do something like that. Say stitch to end point. You are so symmetrical. Here, first to second. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me see. Got to figure out how to work this out, how to even this out, so that I can easily take this across. Because for right now, and I don't want to add an extra, or maybe I do want to add an extra, I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, let's add an extra. I'm going to add an extra loop going up over the top, and then we'll just smooth and even that out. That way this just makes it a little bit easier for me. Slide by brush radius to get this just cozied out in here. Should be dandy. Should be dandy. Insert edge loop. Stitch to end point. Something like that. Something like that. Now, when you notice I've got this open triangle here at the end, I will be adding in an extra loop down the middle of this strip. You see there's an open triangle at the other end as well. I'll be adding in an extra edge loop down in the middle, and then I'll be bridging these ends to kind of close them. It's just kind of the easiest way that I have to work with this sort of thing. It just helps me to kind of keep track of things a little bit better, keep it clean, and keep it so that it's something that I can navigate really easily. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We are going to add 2 more edge loops here. I'm gonna say one right here, one right here. Okay, and then this one needs to have 1, 2, 3. Stitch there, stitch there, stitch there. All right. So now that part's closed up. Okay, that's gonna go there. And then these two need to kind of meet in the middle. I'm just gonna kind of change it to midpoint there. It should be good. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull this down, pull this down, pull this down, pull this down. And then I'm just going to kind of smooth this out. Yeah, just keep smoothing it out. Cozy it on out, as it were. I'll just kind of reinforce this this edge back here as I get to it. I'm gonna take this. Let's get rid of all that creasing. Uncrease all. There we go. That's better. Okay. So now to be able to, so this edge loop needs to come down, meet up down here, and this one needs to come and meet up down here. And that's not a big deal. We got this. This is working like a charm-ish. All right, that's better. Okay, so I need another, oops, what happened? Oh, I hit inset instead of insert. Oh, the intensity has been turned up somehow. I don't know how that happens sometimes. It just does, and it just, it's just dumb. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's see, slide. It's electric. Boogie woogie woogie. Bridge edges. Oops. There we go. Now we got a couple of, oh, that's right. Okay. I was like, it's just so much less dense through here. I want to see what I can do about that. And hey, lo and behold, now we know why it's less dense. Stitch to midpoint. Yeah, that works. But I want this one to be endpoint because I like that curve there. Okay. So, yeah, starting to come. Oh, I hate it when that happens. It's starting to come around. Let's kind of even out whatever's back here. That's a lot of topology kind of coming through the back of the neck. I don't want that much going through there, so I might go through and try to figure out what I do to kind of eliminate some of this, which will probably mean getting some topology transitions happening in here, but we'll see. We'll have to see how we do this, how we handle it. Yeah, let's finish this back side of the ear here. I'll say bridge edges. Okay, now I have some things that I've gone through and I've started already kind of polygrouping, so I want to make sure that I don't ruin these polygroups. Let's go ahead and get that. Get rid of these. I guess we'll get rid of that. We'll say Control W on this. Yeah, let's do this. We'll take these two, since there's not really a good clean definition between any of these pieces anyway. We'll just say Control W, and then we'll start working on kind of cleaning this up, because this definitely needs some cleaning up. There's way too much topology coming down through there, and there's not really, I don't know. It might just be a matter of going through and just controlling it and just making it do what I need it to do. But I mean, I struggle with the idea of wanting to go in and actually like minimize the points going through here, because I've got a clean flow going through. It's just the way that the edges connect and everything. It just creates this clean edge flow. I need to clean up the surface and the form, but it's got a good clean edge flow. And so yeah, I'm a little bit apprehensive. It's like, what's the word for that? I'm a little bit apprehensive about trying to minimize the edge flow coming through the back of the neck area here. Just kind of even that out a little bit. It's going to kind of smooth that a little bit. I'll go through and I'll kind of define polygroups for these planes of the ears here in just a minute. Right now I just kind of want to even them out some. Fix some of these, in smoothing it kind of like pulled these points up a little bit. Gotta keep it clean, my friends, keep it clean. This has been kind of a fun project so far. Definitely a bit of a challenge because of the difference in style from what I usually work in, and trying to figure out the good clean topology to be able to hold the shapes and to be able to be give clean deformations and things like that too. But I think I got something that'll work for me. Hopefully it's what I'm wanting. You smooth that out, and that's what he looks like. I mean, I've got these creases kind of going around the back of the head, and I'll probably, once I add a subdivision or two, I'll go ahead and I'll kind of ease that out some back here. It's, I don't know. I might leave it actually. It's kind of nice having almost like a robotic or cybertronic sort of feel to him. So this is for the ArtStation challenge, which is light age, grand space opera sort of stuff. So yeah, that's what he looks like. I can get rid of the main sculpt here, unless I wanted to compare the forms first. I think I'm liking the forms in the topology base better. Let's kind of clean up and refine the shape of these ears a little bit. I want to emphasize some of these peaks. Let's get that move infinite depth. Let's do something like that. Something like that. Pull up the top of the ear just a smidge. It should be good. Okay, let's check this lip. Let's grab the bottom lip and kind of pull on it a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh shoot, it messed up my topology. I hate that. Ah! Dang it. I had everything all worked out there. Easily the worst thing about the new Z-modeler stuff is the way that the points just love to weld together. I mean, some of the things that you can do to be able to kind of fix that is changing, making sure that your model is big enough that you don't have to worry about it. But another thing that you can do is you can come up here to to preferences, down to geometry, turn that welding tolerance down to 1. I guess my model is just small enough to to actually be affected still, but whatever you wish for you keep. Let's kind of smooth that out some. See, I'm trying to go through and control this edge. It's going straight up, but it's got some wobble to it. So I'm trying to straighten that out. I want these shapes to be super clean. Hey Artsy, how you doing? Really early today? What are you talking about? It's 9:30. It's almost 10 o'clock for me. You must be located somewhere really far east or something. Or sorry, not really far east, but really far west. aside from going through and kind of cleaning up these lines, making sure that they are flowing the way I want, I think we're gonna call this good. Let's turn off the old body, turn off transparent. So this is the character so far. Bing bada boom. Yeah, I wish I could have just used topology from another character to be able to do this. But it's okay. Topology is always a good thing to practice. I'm just going to smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, so I didn't stream the topology process for this guy. At least not the full topology process. The facial topology was done using a mix of ZModeler and ZRemesher. So like with ZRemesher and using that for topology, you get really messy topology. So there's a ton of cleanup, but it's worthwhile sometimes, So I used the Z remesher to be able to get roughly the topology I wanted. Used polygroups, and then Z remesher to be able to get the topology and edge flow and things like that. And then I was able to use ZModeler to really be able to clean up and control. The only part that got super messed up was the lips, which really lights my fire. Let's see, I'll probably have to get rid of that too. Oh yeah, that's what I meant to do. I meant to set a timer actually, because I do have other things to do. I set an hour and a half. We'll do something like that, and then once that timer goes off, we'll wrap up and jump off. But yeah, want to make sure that I've got time to do other things today. Save geometry, mirror and weld. Look at that. Get this over here. Mirror and weld, that's better. Check and make sure in other spots, make sure that it's clean, especially any of these tight areas like around the nose. But it looks like we should be good. Between the fingers, these are tight spots, and so I want to make sure that whenever I use ZModeler that I check these sorts of tight spots. Doing the inside of the mouth, I may actually go ahead and just do that inside of Maya. I think that'll be probably a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to keep clean. Let's see, I want to make sure that this shape is maintained. Oh, here, mirror and weld, just to make sure. Let's kind of pull this up, pull that up. There we go. All right. Cool. I think he's good. I think he's good. So now we've got the back of the ears done, got the back of the head done. Whew. So far, so good. Let's really pretty strong, but it's gonna be too much regardless, I think, if I were to just go through and smooth. Yeah, there's a little bit of wobble here in these points. Let's kind of even that out some. That's better. Smooth that out, and that looks pretty alright. Let's do that. That's better. Okay. Let's go through and just kind of even out this topology a little bit better. Okay, I think we're back now. Kind of drives me nuts when that, well, it really drives me nuts when that happens. Let's go ahead, Control W to get that. Let's go ahead and we'll say, and let's get this. Let's go ahead and boom, boom, chicka boom. Control W, and we'll say polygroup island. I actually don't know if that'll match any other polygroup, so we'll just make sure it's its own thing. That. I'm going to want to polygroup the top of the ear here. Oops. Z modeler, please. There we go. So I finished up watching, what's it called, yesterday? Clone Wars. That final season is certainly the best season of the lot of them. You know, speaking on it from several different vantage points. I mean, you could tell that, like, with a lot of the battle scenes, they definitely used motion capture to be able to get some of the animation done, because it felt very human, which is fine. I mean, it worked well, and it looked nice. It looked so much better than the previous 6 seasons, but you know, whatever. Pull on that a little bit. Polygroup all of this. Okay. Let's polygroup the bottom of the jawline here. See, Yeah, so let's go in here. Let's go ahead and grab our ears. We'll come over here and we'll say crease PG. So now the ears are nice and creased and around all those polygroup pieces, and that'll help to hold that shape nicely. Okay, let me see. Hey Martin, how you doing, brother? How are you doing? Say crease edge loop partial. Oh, look at that. I wonder why that's going up there. I don't want that creased. Say crease edge. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm just just chilling, relaxing, working on my character for the ArtStation challenge. So I mean it's turning out fun so far. I mean he's certainly very different. But that's cool. I mean it's something that I'm interested in. I think that with the way that I've gone through and shortened up his torso some, I think I might go ahead and take the vest and do something similar. Just kind of like, let's turn on clothes upper. We'll say transpose set. You're working on You're working on your ArtStation challenge character. I don't know if I've seen yours yet. Have I seen yours? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's take this. Get rid of the scarf so that I'm just transposing these pieces. In fact, I might even want to shoot. I might even want to get rid of these little. Oh, that's not what I wanted. These little hard pieces there. I want to keep those nice and uniform. Okay, so with the torso being shorter, I'm going to try taking this and just kind of shrinking it up. I don't know if I like that. Let's see. But maybe a little bit. Let's go ahead and try that. I don't know. I think I like the. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? The shorter or longer? I think I'm going to put a poll up on my. On my Instagram. Let's do this. Let's say Control Shift S. Oh, sorry, Shift S. Okay, let's just go ahead and we'll just grab this. Shorten it back up. Make sure it's sitting on the shoulders nicely. You know what? I don't think that's even going to work well. You like it shorter better? I mean, it certainly clears up the like utility belt area and pockets and things like that on his pants. Yeah, you know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. Let's go ahead. Let's go with this with the shorter. Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and save. Yeah, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's save this. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do the shorter vest and call that a new version. Start working on version number 2. I think that'll be a little bit better. Guy 2. In fact, I'm going to need to come up with a better name for this guy, because just calling him Guy, I think that's kind of lame. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot kind of going into this guy. I think it's working pretty well. I think it's just a matter of getting all the other elements in there. Let me see. Let's turn that off. Kind of pull this up some. Something like this, pull that up some. Cool. All right. Okay, so one of the things that I want to go through and probably figure out, I mean, I need to solidify this hair. I need to make sure that the hair is more of a solid chunk than all these separate chunks. I think that the solid chunk would feel better, because like the style that I'm going for. In fact, let me go ahead and pull in my spotlight. I don't know if I've closed ZBrush. Yeah, that's spotlight projection. So there's my spotlight. There's my my reference, my character that I sketched out for this. Okay, so some of the things that I'm going to want to do, in fact, it might be worthwhile to just go ahead and start working on it. It's Control-Shift-D to be able to get the collar fluff stuffed. Let's go ahead and smooth it out a few times, and then here's what I'll do. Let's delete lower. Let's get this, Control-Shift-D, say collar fluff, but let's say with this collar piece right here, let's take this and say, make it solid. So I'm going to say close, I'll just say close concave hole here, or convex, however it goes. And then we'll say mirror and weld. We're gonna have to say mirror too, though, just to be able to keep the side that we want there. Let's go ahead and take these and just kind of give it more thickness, make it more solid, so that when I Dynamesh it, it doesn't go haywire on me. Haywire? Hey Martine, do you stream? I don't know that I've seen I've ever seen whether or not you've got like a live stream or not, so I figured I'd ask. It'd be cool to be able to like give you a follow. And if you don't stream, why not? Let's go ahead and pull that in. Okay, I may or may not actually end up doing something like this. Let's do this. I'm going to keep an extra of this collar piece that I just created. Let's just go ahead and merge this down, say okay. So now we're left with this, which will give me a good solid piece. But what's going to happen, lately you've been working and studying, doing the challenge. Haha. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. I'll have to see if I can find you and give you a follow. You see. Pardon me. Let's see. Let's go down here. Just for the sake of seeing what this will look like. Let's turn off groups. Turn off blur. Resolution of 128 should be enough for now. Let's kind of smooth this out. Yeah, so this is not going to get me the look that I'm wanting. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this other collar. I'm going to give it some subdivisions. And then I want to make sure that this is as big as the other piece. Hermano Martín. San Martín. I'm going to make it so that it has the same volume roughly as this other piece over here. And then what we'll do is we'll worry about going through, and I don't know if you guys ever saw this. I don't know if I have it posted anywhere really. In fact, I'm going to need to open up a new tab. I'm trying to bookmark a few things for a portfolio I'll be entering. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go over to... Oh, that's not what I wanted. They changed it. Why did they change it? View profile. It's like whenever that happens, it's like I totally get thrown out. What am I looking for? I am looking for the llama. You know what? I think it's under creature. If I have it, it should be under creature. It's not up here. I can't believe I don't have it up here. I need to put it up here. Instagram, because it's such a fun little character. But the way that I did the fur, that's kind of what I'm thinking I'm going to try to shoot for. Just to be able to kind of show you what it is that I did. It's from last Christmas, like before the pandemic. Golly. Forget sometimes, like, sometimes I just have a sheer volume of work. Was it really this far back? Yeah, digital mold making, that should be about right. So it should be coming up if it, there we go. Here we are. There's a good, you know, it highlights those edges really nicely. So this is kind of just a really super simple sort of look, but it really gets you that effect of being like a really super stylized sort of fur. I'd have to go through and manually retopologize this probably, which is fine. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. But I'll be very selective about, like, I want to be more selective about where my detail is. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's grab this, and we will start putting this in its place. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more here, a little bit more here. And then there will be a couple of extra pieces that I'll add in as flyaways, like here in the front. I think that that's a great spot to add in, like I've got here, a couple little flyaways. So yeah, we'll have to see kind of how this goes. Let's come over here and we will say delete lower. Turn off transparent. Let's turn off this other collar fluff piece here. And let's rename this collar fluff underscore sculpted. So that way we can keep track of which one this is. And now we'll be good. Stream after the challenge. Yeah, that's probably smart. Allow yourself to focus. Kind of smooth that shape out a little bit. Okay. There we go, that's a little bit better. Alright, geometry, let's go in and dynamesh this. Let's go to 256. Ah, numlock. Oh, that's actually way more dense than I was thinking. Yeah, we'll just do this. This will be enough for right now, I think. Nice. Probably too much challenge. Are you doing this one for the rendering one? Yeah, for the what's it called? For the film and VFX or whatever. I mean, it's like I never do realistic characters. And so it's like, instead of trying to play someone else's game, you know, I'd rather play my own. Yeah. Okay, I need to take this and kind of fix the shape a little bit. In fact, maybe maybe what I'll do, let's just go ahead and we'll use the transpose master. Transform. Take this, kind of fix that shape. You doing for the real time? Hey CBR, how you doing? Salut mon ami. Coucou. My wife lived for a time in Switzerland, and that was one of the well, she lived in Paris too. I can't remember if that was like a Parisian thing or if that was a Swiss thing, but it was always kind of a fun little salutation. Cuckoo. Like, it's top of the hour and it's time to say hello. Cuckoo. Love it. Yeah, that's one of the things that I really love about different cultures, different languages, is being able to you know, see different ways that people say things or do things. You know, even just across the country, like how different people will say or do different things. Even if it's the same thing, they just do it differently, you know? It's just kind of funny. Oh, okay, so you're working on for the real-time side. Awesome. Good, because I don't want to have to compete against you, because, I mean, I know I'm going to lose, but, I mean, at least I'd, you know, lose a lot less. Just kidding. Let me see. Let's go to challenges. I want to see yours. Are you all right with me going in and looking at it, Martine? Prop design, real time. I haven't actually looked into this site at all. Oh wow, that one's cool. Martine. Let's see if I can find you. Stop me if I go past. Trying to enjoy some of the artwork too. This guy's kind of cool. Oh, there's some fun characters in here. Look at that. Oh, that glove's looking pretty sweet, but it looks like it's more of just a prop. The proportions on that guy are super funny. Oh, this guy's pretty cool. Maybe I should just look you up and then go to your challenges bar. Wow, there's some really cool pieces so far. That head piece, is super gnarly. Proportions, the thicknesses, super cool. Yeah, it's funny because it's like I feel like the competition on this side really super stiff. Super cool so far. There's a lot fewer. Looks like there are a lot of these pieces down here that just haven't been updated for a while. Stripper, right in the heck. That's looking really nice. Yeah, I think people um, who do real time stuff, man, they're just a whole other brand of. Yeah, this one's super cool. I remember seeing this one. Oh, sometimes I look at the pictures, sometimes I look at the names, and I'm trying to like get a balance between the two so that I can, keep track. Man, there are a lot of people that chose to work off of that concept. That's really funny. It's a great one. I mean, it's a fantastic concept, and every challenge there's like, oh, that's funny. I like him better without the mustache personally, but I think that could work out. I mean, it's funny. It's really good. In fact, I'll have to look at that one later. Chavalo de España. Man. Yeah, I wouldn't stand a chance in this category. I'm gonna have to look you up by name actually. Let's do that. What's your last name, Martin? Carrillo. Ahí estamos loco. Oh, okay, you picked that concept too. Oh, shoot. Do submission. Yeah, she's starting to come on. Yeah, she's starting to come along. Cool, yeah, I think that'll work. I couldn't compete with that, but yeah, it's looking pretty cool so far. A lot of work. Yeah, a lot of like that hair, that especially that hairstyle and getting that to work, that is a lot of work. Yeah, part of what I wanted to do with this character is work out getting some good layering to the clothing. It's not something, layering, like layered clothing is not something that I have a whole lot of in my portfolio. And I think that adding that in it would help to, personally boost my boost my portfolio. So that's why I've got like things like I've got the vest and I've got the scarf and I've got the you're just adding like different clothing with more detail and things like that. All the hairs by chunks. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like working in chunks. I think that chunks works a lot better. for a lot of things. Let's go ahead and take this, move that up some, unmask. Let's make sure everything's there. Okay. And then we'll send it back. And there it goes. 13 seconds. Ooh. All right. So far, so good. All right, it's turning out all right. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this, and I will show you guys what it is that I do to be able to get my stylized fur. So there are a couple of things that I'll do. I mean, you can go through and just kind of like lift up on the fur in little spots like this, which it can work. You can get it to do what you want to do that way. But I actually don't really like that very much. So what I do, oops, I use my clay brush. This is one way to get this to work, right? So go down and you can kind of do this, and you can just kind of like use the trim dynamic. You just kind of flatten up that front edge. It just kind of melts in. It's not really quite getting what I want. Another thing that I have, this is kind of experimental time. Actually, I think maybe what I did, maybe I used the standard brush actually. No, definitely not. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's do this. Load brush. What project was that? That was in the mermaid. This is the scales brush. Oops. Let's undo that. Boost that up all the way to 100. Something like that, sort of. I think that going through and doing it like this, it might kind of work, but I think it's not going to break the surface enough. Let's see. Let's try. Break the surface with a few of these points. And I'm going to turn off my symmetry because I don't want this to be symmetrical. I want this to be very asymmetrical. Especially back here in the back where it's like in the middle and everything's kind of together. So far this is working nicely. I think that'll be certainly a lot better. Let's go ahead and just kind of, there will be a lot of like actual sculpting that I put into this, so this will work out just fine. something like that, something like that. Just kind of spread it out, round it out some, fix the shape. Okay, something like that I think is working much better. But it might be a little bit tougher to tell until I get more of that, get the rest of it kind of done. Got a little less than an hour left on the stream. Let's do something like that, something like that. Something like that. I kind of want to give it directionality too. Right now it's kind of coming off too far in the, like just kind of coming out to the side. That doesn't quite work for me. So I'm trying to get it so that it feels like it's kind of curving off toward the back. So yeah, something like that will work a little bit better. Let's say lazy mouse is what I wanted. I'm just going to come through here and really try to define some of these shapes. Now I know that there is a way to be able to essentially extract surface detail from your mesh and be able to create a brush out of it. I haven't learned that yet though. This might be a good opportunity to actually go through and do that though. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm good at like knowing that there is a way and then just not worrying about it. And sometimes it matters, sometimes it doesn't matter, but this is one of those times where I think it just kind of comes down to preference. Be that extractor brush, and I think it has like walkthrough mode essentially. Separation there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, CBR. Comment tu t'appelles? Seiyan. my first name, CBR is my last name. Okay. That's fine. It's a very interesting name. Is it actually I don't have any kind of reference for where that name might come from. Corbier? Okay. It's like Jan. I've never heard that before. It's really interesting. Let's use the clay brush. Kind of clay this up a little bit. Let's do something like that. Jan is a Breton first name in France. What does Breton mean? Like English, like British, or is it? I learning all sorts of things from you today. There we go. I think this is starting to feel a lot nicer. I think there's still some iteration to kind of do through here, but I certainly like this a lot better than the separate chunks. I think that this feels like it's got more of the personality that that I'm intending the character to have. A little bit spunkier. Region in France called Bretagne. My first name has its origin. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see. Now I want to know. Okay, so that's Western France. Interesting. Yes, like my wife lived down here in Geneva, and actually she lived over in Luxembourg as well. I'm actually not sure where that's at, and Zoom out a little bit, maybe I can see it a little bit better. But yeah, she was over in Luxembourg as well for a good while. I would have sworn it was closer to Geneva, but I can't see it. Oh, there it is. There it is. For some reason, it's not over here along the border, is it? Yeah, no, it's up higher, Luxembourg. So yeah, she was up in Luxembourg for a while, and down in Geneva, and then she lived over in Paris as well. She actually worked in Paris, and then she served a mission in Geneva and Luxembourg. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Trying to remember, I think she said that she'd been to. No, I think she said she wanted to always go to like Marseille. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of places around the country. Bordeaux is one that I'd like to go to someday. Lyon. I think she said she's been to Lyon. But yeah, it's interesting. Crazy diverse country. Even though, you know, France is not huge, there's a lot of like cool diversity to it. You know, the south versus the north versus the west, you know, and getting the different, you know, just the different, you know, not just the ideals, but the dialects and the, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and do something like this right here. See how that works. This is going to be a nightmare to retopologize. Like, I'm already feeling it. Duolingo's messaging me and being like, don't forget to keep up on your streak, you know. I started with Duolingo. What am I at to? 239 days ago. I've been doing it for almost a year now, and I still feel like my French is terrible, but you know, whatever. It's one of those things that, you know, I don't super need. It's just kind of a nice to have. I like language. But it's certainly better than it was a year ago. I can definitely comfortably say that. Let's do that. That looks good. That'll work. It's a little bit too far low. Too far low. Too far down. Have that break this surface a little bit more, maybe. That was weird. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, there's this this Netflix show that I've been trying to watch a little bit here and there, called Marseille, and it's really tough for me to watch because it's so. It's well, I mean, it's a different language. I mean, it's something other than what I was raised on. It's something other than what I've already learned, and so, you know, it's kind of tough to, you know, tough to do things, tough to watch things in languages other than your own sometimes, and Yeah, it's just it's been tricky, but yeah, I haven't gotten very far into it. I think I've watched like 10 minutes here and there. I've gotten to maybe episode 2 or 3, something like that. Yeah, there's a lot going on though, like corruption and betrayal in the, I don't know if it's like the Senate or if it's the cabinet or what they call it in France, but it's um, I'm pretty sure it's like the prime minister and the cabinet there, and I don't know, just the way that they're trying to resection off the city for different things. Um, I've been trying to watch it with the French subtitles so that I can read and listen, kind of be like, oh, so that's how that word's pronounced, you know? Yeah, I'll leave that there. That's kind of cool. I don't like the thickness of it. I'll have to go through and fix the thickness, but it's I might try a Z-remesher on this and see kind of how it goes. So it might be worthwhile. As long as it's clean enough, I mean, I think it should be alright. Oops. Yeah, so I'm from here in the United States. I was born in Texas, raised in Utah, and then yeah, right now I'm living in California. Um, I had moved down here for a job with DreamWorks, and that was great. It was fun, but then went ahead and moved over to Disney and worked at Imagineering for a couple of years, and then the pandemic happened, and and here we are. I'm laughing at it, but really, it's not funny. uh, yeah, yeah, it's a really tricky sort of situation. Okay, so I think with this, I think what I might do, I might try another version of this, kind of iterate, because I think that this is kind of cool, but I think it's a little bit too busy. So what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and take this piece. I'm going to say Control Shift D, so that can be number one, and I'm going to take this piece, and just kind of pull it way back. Oh, I didn't realize that it would have gotten rid of any of my history. That is such a pain. Um. Oh, okay. I see. I see. I still have. I was like, what happened? Cool. Okay. Right there. That's where I want it. I am going to try doing something a little bit different. Let's try with the focal shift. Let's pull this down closer to 100. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Ooh, that has to be so much better. Okay, so let's add in some big kind of chunk pullaways here. And it can be different varying sizes. I want to have some good variation in this. Let's kind of pull the smooth power up a little bit so that I can smooth in the ends here. Get the surfaces to kind of match a little bit better. Okay, this is going to work so much better. Hey Michael, how you doing, brother? Good to hear from you. It's been a couple of streams since I've heard from you actually. Okay. So here's an issue. Let's go ahead and we'll just kind of mask this out like that so I can keep it clean. Oops. Let's get that snake hook back in here. Actually, that's fine. I'll leave it. I'll leave that and then smooth this out here. Oh, this is working beautifully. I really, really like how this is working. I'm definitely going to have to do the hair this way. I'm glad that this is recorded because that way if I need to, I can just kind of come back to the stream and figure out how I did it if I, forget, between now and then. Let's not layer that there, I don't think. Let's see. Let's try something like, yeah, it kind of works. Still slammed with retopo. Yeah, I just barely finished my head retopology. So I've got the head and torso done. The pants are they're pretty much blocked in. I mean, there's still some things to go through and add. Like I want to add pockets. I need to add like a zipper. I need to definitely add a belt and belt loops and pockets and things like that. Yeah, and I'll probably see about adding like either like some fancy knee patches, or coming and like adding in like an opening or some sort of hole or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. If I add a hole, I'll definitely have to go through and model a knee for that spot because the the body doesn't have an actual knee. Stoked to check out your brushes if I can ever get time to get back into ZBrush. Oh, dude, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there are some good ones up there on the Patreon so far. Yeah, in fact, let me see if I can jump over. Got Patreon right here. Let's see, log in because I am a member. Okay, let me see. Yeah, I've got one artist that I actually support on Patreon. Love it though. Like she's my absolute favorite artist. Um, yeah, let me see. So let's go over to posts. Let's go to published. In fact, I wonder. Yeah, it looks like I can't really. So I've got things like so far I put in for my December last month I put in the fur brush that I went ahead and made for my for different creatures and things like that. I try to put like little surprise updates and things like that on my Patreon as well. The no spare time challenge posts. Ooh, I should go in and add my scales brush or something if you guys are interested in that. I'll put up a poll, see what you guys are interested in. I'll have to see if I can reach out to everybody and get make sure everybody's aware that they can go ahead and check that out. I added my sculpt off materials for November. Got my chunk brush, my hair chunk brush, super cool. Um, yeah, I added my Pina Colada girl for downloadables. My standard hairbrush. Oh, come on, that my slide brush. That was a fun one. Essentially, just being able to make my own slides. I am in Primitive's brush. This is like my best brush ever. So good. Yeah, lots and lots of things to kind of check out through here. Um, yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm doing for this month, and I'll probably try to figure out what I'm doing for next month as well. Uh oh, did they delete that video? That is so rude. That was such a good video too. I guess it's just about time, I guess. The baby Yoda for downloadable, things like that. Yeah, all sorts of fun things that I've kind of put up. Wavy hairbrush and trick. Yeah, so that's a good one. It's a simple one, but it's good. It's good. Can we retopologize inside of ZBrush? Yes, absolutely. Um, um, so there are things that I do inside of ZBrush and then things that I do inside of Maya. Like for instance, the mouth. I had done it inside of ZBrush, but then something happened with the points that because I was using the Z modeler brush, that some of the points in the corner of the mouth had like vert welded together, and that was super irritating to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over into Maya, close the mouth, and work out the mouth and the lips and things like that. But yeah, it's great. I really love doing topology inside of ZBrush. Very simple, and it's very intuitive, very liquid sort of process. Um, go ahead and take that, kind of push that down and in. How much time do I got? About 22 minutes, it says. You liking the boots? Yeah, it was a super fun sort of idea. I really liked. So what I wanted to do with the boots is I wanted to kind of mirror the shape that I had going with the nose. Um, yeah, it's super different from anything that I've ever really done, and so that's kind of the idea, is just making it kind of mirroring shapes and making things work. I mean, there's a lot to do with these boots. I mean, I got to take these straps and kind of make them so that they connect with the front piece here, and then yeah, just kind of figuring out how everything's going to connect and dive into each other, and it's super fun. I really enjoy doing things like this. And then for the soles, I'm thinking about going through and kind of either modeling in grooves or adding like possibly adding in like a circle down here so that it feels like it, it's like sometimes with your sneakers you get like a circle right underneath the ball of your foot. Could be kind of cool. But yeah, lots of things to kind of consider. Oh, well, thanks for stopping in, Martin. It was good to see you. Good luck with your piece for the challenge. This is essentially what I'm doing for my piece for the challenge. So for no spare time and everything as well too, just because it's like I ain't got no spare time, but I wanted to be able to enter a challenge, and I didn't do it last year, so I felt like this is a good year to really just stick it to the 2020s. Pull on that. Yeah, be safe. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, so the sleeves, I actually want to keep them. I want to keep them empty, but one of the things that I was thinking about doing was having like an actual like shirt sleeve kind of coming off. I mean, one of the things that we had talked about the other day when I was streaming and talking about the shirt was possibly doing like a black mesh tank top sort of thing. I don't know that I don't know that feels quite. I don't know. I don't know that feels quite what I want to do with it anymore. I mean, it's like when you're going through and working on stuff. I mean, it's like stuff changes so quickly sometimes, which can be really really funny. But c'est la vie. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm really enjoying this this aesthetic. I think this is working. This is getting what I want out of this. So that's really good. I really love it when that sort of thing happens, where it's like you're going through trying to figure out something, and then all of a sudden it just clicks with one little thing that you do, and it's like yeah, you know. Let's kind of pull this out a little bit. Okay, most of what I find to be helpful in working in this sort of way is to work from the back details first. Oh, I don't want to use. Yeah, work from the back bottom to the front top. And the reason why I'm finding is that the details overlay better when they're overlaying on top. So yeah. It's looking stellar. I just need to really start getting a little bit further forward, and I'm trying not to overdo it. I feel like if I'm not careful, it'll be over detailed like this other one was. Here to look at that. I mean, that's like too much. This is good. This is a little bit too much, but it's getting closer. So, you know, getting this is like really nice middle ground. I think that this works really nicely back here. It still needs to kind of have the details move forward some, but it is coming along. It's funny to hear all the kids playing in the yard behind our house. There's I've probably said this, and those of you who are around the stream all the time, you know, are familiar with it. But yeah, there's a family behind us that runs a daycare or something. So it's just kind of interesting, hearing all the kids screaming and shouting. It's all in Chinese, so I don't understand any of it, but it's but it's kind of funny. But you can definitely tell when somebody's not getting along, or when somebody gets hurt, or, you know, whatever. That's cool. Something like that. And it's like some of what I'm trying to do is vary size and orientation so that it feels like it's its own, like, yeah, so like it feels like it's made out of something very organic and very you know, fluffy. Like, you know, you think about something that's made out of wool, like a sheepskin sort of collar. Obviously this isn't going to be sheepskin because this is something intergalactic. But, you know, like having those sorts of fluffy fur collars, it's yeah, you don't necessarily get, I mean, if you were to look at the details, and like the details are not the same everywhere. In fact, let's jump over to which page is it? Let's go over to this one. I know I've got a ton of ArtStation pages open, but I'm just going to open another one because some of those pages are pages I want to keep open. Let's go to the profile. So like I did with my character here. I don't know why I have that in 2D. But yeah. So, oh, it's because I have the sketch. That's why. But so like the hair, and how the hair, like on the one side, I'm gonna have to get to that question in a second because that's a funny question. Yeah. So the hair overall has like its main shape, but then on a macro level, you're looking at like all the little pieces of the little curls of hair kind of coming out. This is a very different style in what I'm doing right now. It's a lot more detailed too. But you can see how it's like it's going through, and then I have some that are breaking the silhouette. So, you know, it's something very. It's actually very easy to do. I can't remember if I streamed it or whatnot, but yeah, In fact, yeah, I did stream it. I did stream it because this whole character was done on stream. um, something like 6 or 7 hours or something like that. But yeah, so going through and kind of controlling, like making sure that it's got the overall shape silhouette in there for the appeal, but then breaking that silhouette with just a couple of breakaway pieces helps to vary up the shape and make it more interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's why I added it into 2D. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I still love this character. I think she's so cool. Okay, so the question, Michael. You see, how are you interpreting the fluffy jacket forms? Are they going to be stylized fluffy white cotton, or what kind of material are you thinking? Probably like some sort of cream color or something like that for right now. But I don't know. I might make it like I don't know. Really not sure quite yet. Tell me it's going to be green blob with like eyeballs inside or something. That'd be funny. You did a really good job. Oh, let me see. You did a really good job describing the fabric on her shirt here too. Yeah, that was a really fun piece actually. And I did that using nanomesh, I think. I don't know, I'd have to go through, and I'm surprised I don't have the stream linked on here. Do I have it linked on here? I do have the stream linked on here. So if you want to, just go ahead. I'll say copy that link. So if you want to check out the stream, there's the link to the stream right there. Yeah, lots of fun. It was a good time. It's taking too long. I won't worry about it. It's not something I'll worry about right now. Okay. Especially since I've only got 9 minutes left. But I'm impressed that I was able to, and quite happy that I was able to get something for this collar in that time. It was something that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to pull off, because I had the idea in my head and I knew what I wanted it to look like, but then like figuring out the technique for being able to make it work, that was kind of what I was finding tricky in my head. And so I didn't think I'd be able to get this going in a direction that I really enjoyed. Okay, once I finish with this, I'll probably go and I don't know, take the kids out for ice cream or donuts or something. I don't know what to say. Oh, let me see. Let's fine tune this shape down here, so that this is dying into the into this clip right here. This clip is supposed to be just kind of holding the. In fact, let's turn off the character's body. Topology, probably scarf too. I can get it. There we go. This way I can connect this in, and I'll probably be able to refine the shape of it a little bit more once it's got the cleaner topology and whatnot. But I'll worry about something like this for now. Come on, about 35. Something like that. Yeah, it's like the other night. It was really kind of chilly over here. Like, kind of caught me off guard. And my son was asking if we could go out for ice cream. I was like, what? You want to go out for ice cream? It's cold. You're asking for a blanket. Why do you want to? But he really wanted to go out for ice cream. And so we actually went ahead and we got ice cream at Trader Joe's. We got a couple of little things there. let's turn that body back on. Topology. And I mean, since we have really everything else that we need, I'm just going to kind of delete things. I brought this in for reference. Let's delete this. We can delete that. Earring, that's great. Okay, so we got rid of some pieces. Let's go ahead and save before we don't. Trader Joe's ice cream recommendations. They got rid of my popsicles I liked a couple of years ago. Been bummed ever since. That's too bad. They have these ice cream sandwiches that have like chocolate chip cookies, and so it's like chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich with and then the ends are rolled in chocolate chips, and so it's like they're really good. They're really good. I mean, I expected them to be all right when I got them. And then we tried them, and we all just like, oh, that's so good. So we knew that we couldn't like get them all the time, or else we'd be 500 pounds, full of cavities and all of that. Let's grab this, take that piece out. Let's go ahead and kind of pull some out here on the inside too. That could be nice, just have a little bit of a detailed breakup on the inside. You'd expect to see something like that, right? That out, kind of vary up that surface there a little bit. All right. Yeah, so I'd totally check those out. I probably ought to go ahead and up my Dynamesh. Oops. In fact, let's try 256. Yeah, that looks great. I'll just kind of smooth everything out a little bit. Not a ton, but enough to kind of get rid of the pixelated base of the creases and everything. This is working. Have that break the silhouette a little bit just by overhanging. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Okay. So let's finish this up. Let us finish this up. Let's hit Shift Z to get rid of that spotlight. Yeah, that's working. Need to clear clean it up just a smidge here. Oops. Your cleanup need more cleanup. Okay, there we go. That's one of my favorite lines from the Jaden Smith, Jackie Chan, Karate Kid. Your focus need more focus. Okay. Now I really like how this looks up front. I kind of want to add some of that spice to the back here, so let's do some of that. Stop that timer. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up quickly. Getting a call from St. George. It's like, why am I getting a call from St. George? It happens all the time. It's always like some sort of junk. But if it isn't junk, if it's a real person and it's a real thing, then they'll hopefully leave a message. That's why we have the answering machines. Try to get like a little bit of a varied wave kind of coming through here. It's a little bit too much. That should be good. Let's go ahead and do something like that. Oops. Yeah, let's go ahead and use some clay brush and just kind of build up this form just a little bit. And that'll just help to kind of break the flow up a little bit. Instead of being like round, you know, it just kind of makes it so that it has a little bit different of a flow. Let's do something like this, something like this, something like this. Something like that. Something like that. So yeah, it's just a matter of like breaking up shapes now and trying to figure out how to make it feel natural and appealing. Yeah, designing things. I love designing things inside of ZBrush, but it can definitely be a challenge sometimes when you come up with something that's super different than, if I don't really have reference for something like this. This is all something I've got to make up off the top of my head and just figure out, do I have a technique for this? Is the technique working in this case? Yes. Okay, that's working. That works. That looks good. I like it. Ship it. Yeah, let's go ahead and kind of cut this groove in just a little bit further. We'll cut this one in just a little bit further. Cut this one in just a little. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Right there. Oops. Okay, I'm going to try a Z-remesher pass on this to see how well it works. If it works and it gets me what I want, then awesome. If not, then oh well, we'll do it manually. Yeah, that's just kind of I'm suspecting that the automatic, Z-remesher retopology, it'll be probably all right, but not enough. And so I'm suspecting I'll probably have to go back and just do it manually, but might as well try, right? I think I got a couple extra little places that I kind of want to pull out. Pull out a couple of these little guys, because I feel like that breaks up. I feel like that's something that was working really nicely kind of down over here, was just like some of the little pieces that are kind of breaking up the flow just a little bit. So I feel like that adds some good interest. Let's kind of break it up over here on this side. One down here, have one down here, and over here. One over there. Alright. What do you guys think? Should I try doing a Z-remesher pass on it before calling it a day? Fingers crossed, yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and break this up too. Just a little bit. Somebody's definitely not having a good day right now. You can hear one of the kids from the daycare behind us. Let's kind of break this one up just a little bit too. There we go. Something like that. All right, let's save that. I'll probably wait for the program to respond, of course. It's a very simple thing, ZBrush. Let's do it. Alright, we got it. Cool. So let's go ahead, we'll say Let's come back up here. Let's get rid of. Yeah, we'll keep that one as the original one. So let's keep that one. Let's get rid of this one. Delete. Okay. Let's get rid of this one. Okay. Collar, I can say delete. Okay. And then everything else should be good. Okay. So collar, let's go ahead. Control Shift D. And then we will try a Z remesher pass. Okay, turn off the Dynamesh, Z remesh. I'm going to leave adapt on. And then I'm just going, like, just everything just basic. In fact, let's check this, make sure it's all one single poly group. Let's make sure that it's one single piece. Sweet. Okay, just default Z remesher and just see what happens. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, fingers crossed. Oh. Yeah, it's like, so Trader Joe's Caribbean fruit flows. I don't know that I ever tried those. And it's like we like we only just recently discovered those ice cream sandwiches, and they're amazing. You know what? That might work for me. Look at that. I think that'll work. I think that'll work. I might keep that. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. And then sometime later, after I go through and do the same thing for the hair, we'll do the same thing, and yeah, it should be good. So I'm hoping to be able to do that later today. I'll probably go ahead and add more detail to the pants, and maybe add laces to the shoes. And then I'll probably make another, like a post update on this guy on my challenge feed tomorrow. So yeah, he's coming along good. I'm really glad that worked out the way that it did. All right, time for me to bid you adieu, and I will see you next time I see you. Just because that's how it works, right? That's how it always works. Okay. But yeah, there'll be some cleanup things to do. But yeah, it works. All right.